Hi guys, and welcome to another episode. Today I've got a really special guest again, and this is the wonderful Whitney Hawkins, and she'll be speaking to me today about her wonderful brand called FLOWERBX. So I'm just going to invite her in, and we're going to have a discussion on her company. Hello, hi Whitney. Hi, it's lovely to have you on. And you are the owner and CEO of FLOWERBX. How would you describe what FLOWERBX is?
So we're an online flower delivery company. We source flowers straight from the growers and cut out all the middlemen and deliver better value, better sustainability, and a better quality product than traditionally one gets from a typical florist.
Yeah. And I love that, when you have these kind of flowers and plants in your home, as you do in your background there, it's just something really natural and it brings good energy, it's non-toxic, and it's just a lovely, beautiful product to have in your home. You always feel when you have something like that, a boost, like a wellness boost, and you have these plants on your website as well, which I've seen. And what made you put this category onto your website?
Well, yes, I think there's no denying the sort of well-being aspects of having flowers and beautiful things around you. It's also something I think in this age of consumerism, it's something you can buy that if you compost it is not really damaging to the environment. So I think having plants and flowers in your office, I think a lot of us realized it during COVID. I mean, I've always loved having plants and flowers in your office, but I think one realized how important having that sort of living natural element in your environment is, whether it's your office or your home. And not to mention the sort of air cleaning and air purifying qualities of plants and flowers too.
Exactly, and I have one of them here, and it's a tortoiseshell calathea medallion. I just love the look of them as well. It's quite a very unique character to them, as well as having that, like you said, in an office space as well, or at home, you have this natural plant which does purify your air, and it's nice to have that freshness, especially in a surrounding where you're always going to be, say for most of the day.
Exactly. Yeah, so I chose flowers. I worked in fashion for 20 years, and everyone's like, how did you go from fashion to flowers? And they're not actually that different. They're both focused on beauty, on having the things in your life be beautiful and boost you and make you feel better. So it was really, everyone always says to me, like, did you always want to be a florist? And I didn't actually ever want to be a florist, but I always loved flowers. What I did was I saw a gap in the market for buying flowers online. So there was no really good solution where I could buy flowers online. And usually if you bought flowers online or you went to a florist to send, for example, my mother loved flowers, you would get a disappointing product and you would see pictures of what you sent. And you're like, oh, that's not what I wanted to send at all. So sending flowers for me historically had been a very disappointing experience. And I wanted to create a very beautiful, very consistent, very branded, very strong, very high quality, international floral experience. So I have now done that. You can order FLOWERBX in 23 countries across Europe, in the UK, and then East and West Coast of the US. So I really wanted to create a global solution to buying flowers. So if you're buying for in my case, my sister-in-law in New York, or my, brother who lives in Paris, I can buy the same quality, the same consistency, the same value, and, the same beautiful ribbon, the same gift wrap, the same, the same beautiful note cards, the same way a brand of clothes. If you go to Gucci in London or Shanghai or Dallas, Texas, you're getting the same consistency of product, the same packaging, the same brand values in all of those markets.
Yeah, so you were very focused on making sure these products are high quality, and the delivery also is such an important aspect of your brand, and making sure the customers do feel the whole journey to getting your product and maintaining it at home is of the highest standard. And I really, really love that about how much you are also a true entrepreneur when you said there's a gap and you felt it as well, and other people around you felt there was this necessity, and you brought that to life. So how did you first source your flowers, and has it been, you know, with the growth of your relationships with your suppliers?
Yes, we have first sourced our, I mean, I took a trip to Holland, met a bunch of suppliers. You know, at that point I was hugely pregnant with my daughter, and these guys were sort of looking at me, you know, that's sort of very old school, the Dutch flower guys. They're like,
Yeah,
okay,
global farmers, yeah.
yeah, they're like, okay, lady, you're going to create a global flower brand, right? Good luck. And I found the one that sort of was most aligned with us, that actually believed in me and what I was doing and supported us. And they've been our partners throughout the journey, and sort of grown as we grew. So, yeah, it was also, I think so much of it's done on intuition and gut and like people that you respond to. So I was lucky that that was right in this case. It wasn't always right. It's not always right, but
You kind of rerouted, and now you have those suppliers that you have a really good relationship and you are maintaining it with them and growing the brand. And now it's this kind of worldwide company, like you said. So we've seen some flowers there behind you. And what flowers do you currently have in your home, as in the seasonal ones? And how do you maintain the luxury floral plants and flowers that you have? Do you have any tips for everybody?
oh, I've got so many tips. I always have seasonal flowers in my house. It's like food. If you eat food that's not in season, it doesn't taste good. You know, it's like it's just like asparagus in the middle of winter doesn't taste the way it does. And so I'm a firm believer in respecting the seasons of flowers. Also environmentally, I think that's really important. Um, Tips for making them last longer: change the water every day. If you change the water and retrim the stems every day, just a little bit, they will last a full like 8 to 10 days. If you don't, they won't. I mean, it's like simple as that. And also they don't love like really hot places. They don't love direct sunlight. It's like fruit. And it sort of, so just sort of moderate temperature, and trim and change the water every day, and remove any excess leaves, because the leaves actually drink water too and steal some of the water and nutrients from the flower. And then plants, I mean, I really am a believer in less is more. Sort of give them some water, no direct sunlight, and sort of, you know, it depends obviously on the plant. Some plants like humidity more than others, but and also start with a good quality product. I think that is the truth with anything. You know, if you buy FLOWERBX and you go and buy flowers at co-op, there's not a comparison with the quality of flowers that you're buying. They're not going to perform at all. And I'm not saying that for, you know, the bathroom counter, if you're having friends over, that co-op flowers can't work, but for a real wow factor and for real quality and flowers that last, especially when sending a gift, it's really, you know, the quality really shows.
Yeah, exactly. It's that standard, isn't it? And you also provide that delivery service as well, which people have to appreciate, because getting these gorgeous plants there, you know, from say the ground to all the way to your home is a task in itself. So I love also that your flower parts of, like, you know, food sachets that you have, and the tapes and the strings are all compostable. And what else do you do as a brand in terms of sustainability?
Well, sustainability has been super important to me from the beginning, even before sustainability was on everyone's sort of agenda. It was very much on my agenda when I started the company. So even our business model by nature is very sustainable, because all our flowers are cut to order. So we have literally zero waste. And florals, typically between 40 and 50% of florals get wasted and end up in a landfill. Ours do not. They're all cut to order. You go into our warehouse at noon today, there will be nothing left in the warehouse, and tomorrow's flowers that have already been ordered will arrive tomorrow. So the nature of the business model is very sustainable. We are 100% carbon neutral, 200% carbon neutral by next year. We have compostable water pads, compostable food sachets, as you mentioned. All of our packaging is fully recyclable. We have no plastic, which, you know, delivering a perishable good that needs water is a challenge in itself. I mean, there's a reason every florist uses those plastic water bubbles, is because they're, you know, they hold water, but we don't. And I'm very proud of that. And all of this is sort of, and we deliver everything in electric vans, which again is at great cost. And it, you know, at the beginning, when our investors were like, this is so expensive, why are you doing everything so expensively? But in the end, it's the right thing to do. And that was important to me from the beginning. And we've also submitted last summer, so we're just waiting our B Corp application, which was a huge effort from the team. And so I'm hopeful that we'll have that recognition because it's really important to all of us.
Yeah, it's amazing that as well. To be such a large company, but to have someone so considerate at the top, to be able to see also the wider picture and how you affect society as well in the way you work. So what is the we're looking at here now? Oh yes, so it's about your customer service, and you do pride yourself on that as well. What's the most difficult customer service issue that you've had to go through, or you and your team have had to handle and deal with?
Yeah, I'm amazed that we have consistently below 2% error rate, which with a perishable good is something I'm very
Wow.
proud of
Yeah.
because that is pretty exceptional. I think what's inexcusable for people and totally understandably is if you let them down on someone's big day or on, someone's birthday, someone's Mother's Day. And we can't, like, it is 100% impossible to always deliver 100% of whether someone's not home, whether they put down the number wrong, whether the driver got the number wrong. There is an element of human error, which means that while we pride ourselves on delivering every bunch, if something happens, it is really hard to apologize to someone who missed their wife's birthday or whose wife's, who's in an argument and the wife didn't get the flowers, and so I think that's just dealing with people's emotions, really.
Yeah.
Because flowers, at the end of the day, you're sending love, you're sending beauty, you're sending emotion. So if there's anything that goes wrong with that, people take it very personally, rightly so. So I think we all, from me to the customer care team to everyone in the company, really deeply care. And we also understand the responsibility we have of like delivering for people and delivering their emotions and delivering their magical moments and not letting them down. So it's something we care about deeply.
And like you said, it's a human issue, isn't it, sometimes? And sometimes there are tiny mistakes that might happen, but I've seen also from your customer feedback that you rectify the situations always very quickly, and they are always actually resolved in a really successful way. So I've seen that from them as well. You also deliver, like you said, across the globe. How did you also start from the US and to move to different countries? How did you move from and navigate that pathway?
I've got an amazing COO. He's absolutely wonderful. He's British, really understands the company, understands fundamentally everything about it. And he was excited for the opportunity to move to New York and help launch the US. So having someone that I completely 100% trust, who cares as much as I do, is completely fundamental. Because I have 3 kids at school in London. I can't move to New York. So having someone who cares as much as I do, sort of creating the culture there too for the US team.
And what is the culture that you have and your kind of leadership role? How do you inspire yourself and how do you inspire people that you hire?
Well, our culture is back to what I was mentioning earlier, is like we care deeply. We go the extra mile. We like, perfection is what we are all striving for. And that's everyone from, everyone packing the flowers to everyone delivering the flowers to, it's really a quest for being better than anyone else and doing a better job and delivering on people's like important moments. And then I think as a leader, I mean, no one cares more than I do. And I think they see that. And whether it's responding to customer care calls or whether it's delivering flowers if something for some reason wasn't delivered, or, they've seen me in the weeds doing all of it. And I think it's harder to ask people to believe in you and work really hard with and for you if you aren't willing to sort of do it yourself. And I think they all know how hard I work and how much I care about it.
Yeah, so like you roll your sleeves up and you get involved in all aspects of the company, and your team can see that, and you're an example, and you set that high standard for them. So, well, Valentine's Day is coming up, but I'm not somebody who does celebrate that day, because I think if you are with somebody, you should be celebrating it every single day, and which is a good thing because your website delivers all year round. And what is the website? How, because it's easy to navigate, I found it. There's beautiful imagery, it's very informative, and with all the delivery queries, and they're all answered there. And was there any idea like behind the brand logo and the name without the O? Was there anything, and how did you kind of come up with the branding?
Well, I have a secret weapon husband who is still works for Tom Ford. We met at Gucci a million years ago, so he's still at Tom Ford and he's a designer. So he has been instrumental in helping me come up with sort of the design elements of the original. Obviously, he's not involved in the day-to-day, but the original sort of look and feel of the brand, of the website, etc. And yeah, I wanted it to be, if you look at any other florist websites, they're so messy, they're so confusing, they're so like, it's just like, where do I even look? Where do I even start? And I wanted to sort of clean all of that up and make it, you know, like Net-a-Porter or any of the sites where I love to shop, that made it really easy to understand what you were getting, make it really like chic and beautiful and clean and desirable, and then also how to style it, what to do with it, all of the things that, for example, Net-a-Porter does so well. It's sort of the editorialization of the flower.
Yeah. And do you find it easy to hire around you now that you have that team there? Do you still hire, or do you kind of lead other people and then they kind of understand who you're looking for in your hiring process?
No, I mean, I think what's amazing is I've hired people I'm lucky that are better than I am in every single thing that they do. I mean, I wouldn't even pretend to, you know, we have a head of product who manages our tech and tech stack and all of that. There's no way I could ever hire someone as well as she could. So I think you hire really amazing people, and then you that are better than you are at everything that they do. Of course, I mean, it's important for me that I am there to instill the culture and to, you know, as the sort of visionary of the brand, but I'm lucky that my team is much better than I am at their different functions.
Yeah, and I'm just going to share now another image, which I think is a beautiful product from your website, and it's this one here, the French kiss Dutch tulip. And because like Valentine's Day is coming up and you do have those lovely roses as well, I just think you also have so many other quality flowers on your site that people can go and venture out and deliver different plants for this day as well. But like I said, love should be celebrated as well every day you're with somebody, and you have that access on your website to be delivering all year round.
Oh yeah.
What is your website, and how can people get to it and find out, you know, social media and things?
Yeah, so our website is www.flowerbx.com, and then you can choose which country you're delivering to, and that navigation is hopefully very easy. We put a lot of work. We just relaunched a new website end of last year, so a lot of work and thought went into the different sort of user journeys. You know, whether you're buying for a gift, whether you're buying for yourself, whether we have flowers that you need same day for an emergency, we have longer lead time. So it was sort of creating that user journey that was the easiest. And yes, we deliver 7 days a week. Yeah, I mean, you can order, we don't have everything available. As I mentioned, everything's cut to order. So we don't have, if you wanted 40 blue delphinium on the same day today, you would not be able to get that because we don't keep stock. But if all of our best sellers, so for example, French kiss, double tulips, etc., you would find in our express section, and you would be able to buy them today, same day.
And also with your site, you don't not only just sell the flowers, there's so many other products you have on there, like there's a gardening set, there's gifting that you do as well, and installations. Is there any other products or parts of the website that you kind of might want to highlight?
Yes, we have a very big B2B business. So that's with hotels, restaurants, corporate offices, corporate gifting, and events. So I'm not sure if you saw when the facade of Annabelle's or Phoenix was covered in flowers, we did that. So we can do.
That was your
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
so there's lots of sort of events and installations, and then also whether it's corporate gifting, a lot of different brands and office buildings, they use us for like company birthdays or for client gifting for they sign a new deal and they send flower box. So we have a very big corporate arm, which I don't think is highlighted as well in our site, but is a very big part of our business.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's wonderful that you've also done those amazing installations in front of, like you said, those Mayfair what is it, clubs and stuff. That's because every time I walk, around and I see flowers and things, and those are like the most exquisite ones that stand out, those types of installations. So that's kind of it really for the episode. Is there anything else you'd like to say about FLOWERBX?
No, I think you covered everything, Yasmin. Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you so much as well. And I will send you an email with the link as well to everything. So thank you so
Great.
much again.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye. Bye.